Hey everyone, it's Vivian Cherie here, author and founder of the School of Purpose Academy. I want to welcome you all to Entrepreneur City, where we are empowering you with education through entrepreneurship. Guys, I'm so excited that you're here today because today we're going to be talking about how to recruit long-term and loyal staff using German engineering. Yes, guys, this one is right here is going to be something that's going to help you recruit people for your team, your staff, regardless of what type of business you're in. Because if you don't already know, good help is hard to find and even harder to keep on your team. So today we're going to be talking about how you can use German engineering in your business. Now, why is German engineering even important at all? Like, why would we even be using German engineering? Well, we're going to get into that so you'll understand why German engineering is so important. So grab pen and paper, get rid of all the distractions, and while you're doing so, let me tell you a little bit more about myself and why you should even hang around and listen. Well, guys, I've been in the entrepreneur space for over 7 years, worked for 3 Fortune 500 companies in technology, hospitality, as well as pharmaceuticals. After working for these companies, I figured out that there were certain principles that all businesses use to take their business to the next level. And I truly believe that for me to have more of an impact on my community and just mankind in general, I wanted to help small business owners. Now, within the US, whether you know it or not, small businesses account for 60% of America's workforce. So that's telling you that small business success is very important to the bread and butter of our country. So this is why I am here today to share with you all of the tactics and secrets and principles of business that I've learned throughout the years working for the Fortune 500 companies, but also becoming an entrepreneur in the service space as well as physical products. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about German engineering and how you can apply it to your team. Okay, well, first off, what is so special? What exactly is engineering? A lot of times we hear the word engineering, and things like that. And for the most part, we know that it is a very highly skilled profession. It is also very lucrative and highly paid. Most engineers make about 80 to 6 figures per year. Okay, so what exactly is engineering? So let's take a closer look. Well, basically, engineering is really about the process. How engineering is about the creative process of making something from A to Z. And truly, it's really all about the process. See, most of the time, regardless of what environment you're in, maybe you work in a manufacturing facility, maybe you have a factory, maybe you have a warehouse, maybe you have a grocery store, but you'll have people that come in every now and then and they might work with you on your business, but their title is engineer, right? And that doesn't necessarily mean that, they're about to, pull out a toolkit or anything like that. Because simply put, engineering is all about making more efficient processes to come out with a higher quality of a product, but not just higher quality, a more effective process to do whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, and who better to give us tactics about recruiting and learning about processes than German engineering? Well, Germany has a small business community called the Mittelstand. Okay, and please forgive my German accent if I'm butchering this word, but I'm quite sure that it's correct. It's called the Mittelstand, and this is referring to their small and medium-sized businesses in their area. Now, what's so special about Germany is, and the reason why we're talking about German engineering, not only do we all know them for their famed products such as the BMW, the Audi, the Volkswagen, Schwarzkopf hair products. You have Philip Plein, which is a German designer, but I believe he started it kind of like in the US, but he's definitely from Germany. But we all know that Germany, first off, is a powerhouse, an economical powerhouse. Okay. And their financial stability is all based upon their Mittelstand, which is pretty much just saying their financial strength comes from small to medium-sized businesses. Okay. Now, what is it about their businesses again that makes them so different? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let me tell you a little bit more about German's Mittelstand so you can understand more about why we can learn from them, especially for your recruiting. Okay. Number one, Mittelstand companies dominate narrow niches globally, exporting machines. Okay, let's take a look at that first one. They dominate in narrow niches. That is the key indicating factor that you need to pay attention to. Niches. They dominate in niches. What is a niche? A niche is a specialized area, a specialized or a smaller segment to a larger market. So for an example, I am a small business consultant, not just a business consultant. My niche market is small businesses. Okay. So you might have a restaurant. You don't have just a cafe. Maybe you have Caribbean food. Maybe you have German food or Greek food. Okay. A niche is a small portion of a larger market. Now, if you're new to these particular trainings with Entrepreneur City, we actually have a free blueprint that you can download that will give you the blueprint to 6 or 7 figure businesses. And the third piece to that blueprint talks about specializing in something, the niche market. Any business that is very, very successful, I can guarantee you that they have their business set up in particular niche markets. Okay, whether it be a particular product or it could even be focused on a particular type of prospect as well. Okay, number two, let me go back here. So when you have a narrow niche, you can enjoy premium pricing in spite of the high cost. So for an example, when you have a niche, that means you specialize in something, right? So say for instance, if you're like a Louis Vuitton, you specialize in leather goods. They started off with luggage. Okay, but they specialize in something. And so now they enjoy the premium pricing in spite of the high cost sometimes that it takes to create these items. And that is what's so wonderful about Germany. See, unlike China, in which is another one of my favorite places to talk about, China uses cheap labor, okay, to make high or premium cost goods such as the iPhone and things like that, right? They are high quality goods. However, China uses cheap labor. Okay, I'm sure they have gotten better, but that is pretty much how they have become the powerhouses they are. So that's pretty much a simple philosophy. But when you have a company, or excuse me, a country that enjoys premium pricing but also have a great workforce in general, they take care of their people, they are doing something that we need to take notes about. Number two, they have a steady supply of highly skilled labor and low turnover. This is why we're talking about German's Mittelstand today, because after talking to a lot of different entrepreneurs and small business owners, one of their main problems is always recruiting and building their team. And I hear this over and over again, regardless of what industry. And it pretty much comes down to, they're like, Vita, good help is hard to find. And they're not lying. It is hard to find. But today we're going to discover some things that will make you find the good help, but not only find them, keep them. Okay. You want people that will be with you while you're remaking, remodeling, or starting your business. And today we're going to talk about what you can do so that you can adapt some of these German engineering tactics to enjoy some of these benefits. Number two, German companies is one of the top 3 positions in majority of industry sectors. So they're in one of the top 3 positions in majority of industry sectors, meaning their companies are always in one of 3 of the top positions in majority of the industry. That means they're servicing really major industries. They're the top 3. Number 3, Germany is the highest per capita per person exporter in the world. Now, what does that mean? That means they're making stuff and they're sending it out. They're making stuff and they're selling it over the seas. They're selling it everywhere globally. Okay. That's also telling you that it has to be high quality because people wouldn't buy it. People wouldn't buy it because as I told you, Germany is not like China where they have cheap labor. Right. And then a lot of times China, and I love China, so this is no disrespect to the Asian market. I really love the Asian culture and everything. However, when it comes to the workforce, we all know that China has been well known for just really poor human needs. I mean, right now we're going through COVID-19 because of the wet market. So that pretty much tells you how they feel about, human needs and things like that. Okay. So, number 4, Germany is the second largest importer in the world. In the world. So that's telling you they have a lot of things that they're making and they're sending it out. Okay. So what do they do? How do they do this? What can we learn? And that's what we're going to talk about right now. Well, first off, I want you to understand that no matter what we're discussing, the rule to really hacking any brand, company, country, any system that you want to hack and learn how to use their tactics in your business or your life, you must understand, number 1, that success leaves clues. Okay, I got this from Anthony Robbins, and he is just so 150% correct about it, because anytime there's something that you want to ramp up or change in your business or your life, and you don't have a clue of how to do it, find someone that has done it already. Even if it's not tit for tat, it may be similar. It may be 75% on. Okay. But you must understand that success leaves clues. And this is another reason why it's important for you to really get a mentor. Okay. Because a mentor is someone that's going to give you the honest feedback you need. But not only that, a mentor is someone that has been there. And maybe they haven't been to the exact place that you want to go, but they have a lot of experience that they can give you the enlightenment to help you get to your path just a little bit faster. Now this is not about a get rich quick scheme, because everything has its due time and everything has a process. I don't care if it's a process of 5 minutes. Everything has its process. Okay. But when you understand that success leaves clues, you don't fret, because you simply understand, you know what? Let me just go find someone that has done what I'm trying to do, or that is similarly have done what I'm trying to do. Okay, so let's get into this about the Mittelstand. Now, success leaves clues. This is truly a wealth mindset secret that you definitely want to write down. I mean, anything. You can give this to your kids, anybody. Success leaves clues. Next. Now, before we can break down the different things that German engineering put into their business, is you want to get you a plan. You must understand that a blueprint, a plan is necessary. And when you truly want to change your life and business with your goal setting, you will understand that you want to begin with the end in mind. Okay. The key to success is to begin with the end in mind, with a vision and a blueprint of the desired result that you're looking for. Okay. So before we start talking about what is it that the Germans are doing that we can do to help our recruiting and our team, first off, what is your goals? Okay, so if you're here today because you really need help with recruiting, regardless if you have a network marketing company or if you have your own retail or service-based business, maybe you have a salon, barbershop, boutique, maybe you have a lawn care business, a restaurant, it doesn't matter. What is your ending goal? Do you want to hire 5 more people? Do you want to hire 10 more people? Do you want to hire 5 people a month for the next several months? What is your ending goal? Because when you know what your ending goal is, every tactic that I'm going to give you after this particular slide, you'll be able to understand how you can use it in your plan. Okay? So let's talk about the anatomy of German engineering. Here at the Entrepreneur City, we take billion-dollar brands and break them down so that you can use them in your business. Pretty much, we take a look at the anatomy of a brand, okay? Because there are certain principles in business that just never change. It doesn't matter what country you're in, what product or service you're using. It's just all it remains the same. The principles remain the same. So let's talk about the anatomy of German engineering. Well, first off, guys, the Germans in their business, they know to a T who their target market is. Okay? They understand who their target market is. They understand what the people are looking for. They understand what they want. So, what does it have to do with recruitment? Well, when you understand who you will be servicing with your products and services, you have a better outlook on how you need to recruit and who would be the best fit for your brand. Okay, so say for instance, if you have a senior citizen retirement home, you understand the problems and the things that the seniors need. So you pretty much understand that there's going to be a certain level of patience that comes with the particular best team member that you need. Because depending on who you're servicing, see, you're in business to solve a problem. Okay, it starts right there. When you understand you're in business to solve a problem, you then therefore understand who exactly problem you'll be solving, which is your target market. When you understand those, then you can say, these are the type of people that will be the best recruits for what I'm doing. Okay, these are the qualities that are important to my customer base. So these particular type of characteristics might come easier for this particular type of person. Not to say that someone else can't come in and do what you're looking for the majority, but for most of the time, there's going to be certain characteristics. So let me just give you a quick example of what I mean by that. So say, for instance, like I said, you're in the senior citizens, you have a senior long-term care facility. You understand that with seniors, you need someone that has patience, right? So you have come to the conclusion that maybe it would need to be more likely someone that is middle-aged that has a more of a patience level to life. Now, don't get me wrong, you keep your options open, but you're looking for certain characteristics that will show you that this person can be a patient person. Okay, so this is why understanding who your target market is. And Germans, trust me, guys, everything that they do is so strategic. They run a very, very lean operation, a lean structure. Okay, and what I mean by lean is I don't necessarily mean they're laying off people, because Germany, they don't really lay off. And we're going to talk more about that. But what I'm talking about when I say lean, one of their philosophy is, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They don't spend any money on anything that's not a necessary, that's not a necessity. Okay. Everywhere that I've researched on the Mittelstand or Germans, their philosophy and business in general, they have the money at access. I mean, guys, they don't hardly have any debt. Like Germany, like seriously, guys, they're a powerhouse. They don't have any debt, but it's because they do not do any upgrades unless it's completely necessary. And that's something that we could definitely learn a lot from. Okay. Next, Germany also really understands about innovation. Guys, innovation is all about keeping it fresh. You have to keep it fresh because people want to be excited. They like variety. With your team, they don't want to do the same things day in and day out. Now, if they don't have a choice, you're going to have to find other ways to make their job innovative. I went to a couple of positions a long time ago, and they asked me, do you have a problem doing the same thing day in and day out? And see, at that time, it didn't bother me because I was focused on my own business. So when I was at that job, I was just there to let the time pass by. Don't get me wrong, I was doing my best, but I knew that I would not be there for the rest of my life. But here's the thing. When you're trying to build your brand or your business, you want to make sure you keep things interesting to your employees. Trust me, guys, because everybody wants a little bit of variety and they will go find something else. So how do you do that if you did have one product? Okay, how could you do that? Well, guys, there are so many different ways. Not only, like, innovation is not about creating something new. It's about taking something old and mixing it with something new so that it will meet the new requirements or existing market needs. Okay, so for an example, if you want more employee engagement, you might have a app created with different little games that will instill safety measures and safety training and skill training in your particular business. Okay, so why would you go out your way to do that? Well, guys, guess what? It's innovative. You now have a business app that is going to feed the need of variety for your staff, and it will keep them interested in wanting to continue on with your company. This is something that Germans definitely understand as far as keeping it innovative. Another piece, guys, is they have a lot of family ownership with their businesses. Okay, a lot of different things in Germany is passed down generation to generation, and if it's not in the family, it is more so long-term employees is their family. Okay, and they have no problem passing these things down. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about another tag that they are using, which is apprenticeship. Wow, guys, this one right here is so cool because a while back, guys, I was working with a lot of different salons. Prior to COVID-19, salons were already having a hard time because of the salon suites. And I kind of felt so bad because, business change. It changes so fast, and sometimes people are not ready. But that's all the more reason why you need to innovate, number one. But number two, always have a contingency plan. It was so hard, guys. The beauty industry is one of the most creative industries in the world. But when it comes to opening their minds and being innovative to how they're doing business, guys, it was like talking to a brick wall. And it's unsettling, and it's sad because prior to COVID-19, I had a guy that I was talking to out in Miami, Florida, and I was trying to help him out by creating a system that will continue to give him clients and build sales on an automatic basis without going into his office. Guys, do you guys know that COVID-19 hit very hard about 3 to 4 weeks later? And I can almost guarantee you that guy was missing a lot of income. Okay, we were talking about different ways to recruit. And the guy, he was just so set in his ways. He did not want to use social media to recruit. He just had some old, antiquated attitude about business. And guess what, guys? I'm not a pushy person, but it saddened me to say that. It saddened me to know that you would rather stay stuck in your old ways than get results for your business to grow. It just didn't make sense to me. So as I was saying, one of the things that I was suggesting to him before I even did this German engineering recruitment training was that I talked to him. I said, listen, if you have a shortage of stylists, There's a plethora of stylists at the beauty salons, or excuse me, at the cosmetology schools. Why not groom someone for the position that you have? Guys, he said, no, I want them already pre-made. Well, or ready-made. Well, here's the thing. When you go in, or when you're looking for someone that is already experienced, two things can possibly happen. Number one, they'll end up leaving you for their own stuff. See, a lot of people that go to different businesses at certain times when they're highly skilled, don't get me wrong, some people is looking for a nice place to work. But if you're not coming in with innovation and benefits and things like that and making it sound really cool and creative, they're not going to stay long, period. Okay? But the other thing is, a lot of people just have their own goals in mind. See, we're living in a time now where just people want their own dreams to come true because they've been so mistreated at jobs, especially in the United States. They've been so mistreated at the jobs. They will either do one or two things. Number one, start their own business, or number two, job hop. Okay, so how do you avoid this? How do you create some type of loyalty to your brand with your employees? Guys, you start with apprenticeship. No matter what business you're in, you can always find somebody that's looking for a chance. And it was so sad that, it was just a huge opportunity for them. But guess what, guys? He didn't find it valuable to him. But guess what? The Germans do. And here's the deal with the Germans. Remember when I said they had the best amount of employee loyalty, the lowest turnover rate in the world. Okay, I'm sorry, not in the world, in their country. The lowest turnover rate. I'm not sure about the world, but Germany is known to have very, very long employees and very low turnover rate. Okay, so that is something to think about. And it's really impressive, guys, because when someone says they'll take you as an apprentice, that means, you know what that means, guys? That means that they don't mind investing in you. See, we're looking for ready-made TV dinner employees. We don't understand that when you go for ready-made, number one, what they're asking for might be too much for you to hire them. But then number two, guess what? When the next best things comes along, they're gone because they have already climbed up the ladder. They already have a particular mindset and goals. But see, when you can get someone fresh out of whatever they're doing, whether they're new to the industry or fresh out of college or fresh out of high school, or, they're just starting over, maybe they relocated, people become more loyal and bonded to you because they feel like you have made an investment to them. Okay? Let's see here. Next, guys, Germany. I didn't even know this one until a couple of days ago. Guys, Germany has free education for international and their in-house people. Free, I'm talking about higher education. Do you guys know that people from all over the world send their students to school in Germany just because it's free? Guys, they're so meticulous about everything that they do. Did you also know that in Germany, guys, handmade products are respected there because they have a reputation for making products that last a long time. Think about the Volkswagen. Think about the BMW. Almost anything you get that's made in Germany is made to last. It's built to last. It's not about mass production. It's about it lasting and craftsmanship. See, they really still have a respect for the old world style of doing things. They really truly have a passion for quality. See, here in the U.S., we've gotten off to this mass production thing. And there's nothing wrong with mass production, but you must tighten up your processes for quality. I remember there was a time if that thing said made in the USA, it really meant something. And to be honest with you, sometimes when you see that, I still feel proud. And don't get me wrong, guys, I've been in some U.S. companies, gun manufacturers and everything, and they really have stringent quality processes. But for the most part, guys, it's all about mass production. And one thing about Germany, their home style, homemade products is really reigning supreme because we continue to go back to them, whether it be for some big machinery that they've made or a small widget. Their products are meant to last. And the reason why, guys, is because they start their people off in the beginning as an apprentice. They groom them with this free education, and then they have flexible education. Okay, they even have flexibility in their workforce. So let me give you an example, guys, of how they are so dedicated and loyal to their workforce. Guys, when the numbers are down, like for the example with COVID-19, this has really affected the world on a global scale. So their sales are, down like everybody else. But guess what, guys? Instead of laying off workers, what they have done is the Mittelstand has come up with pretty much an agreement, and I believe it's from business to business, but it is a huge popularity or a huge majority of the businesses in Germany that does this. Guys, when sales go down, when they don't have the sales, what they do is they cut hours. It's either they take either lower hours or lower wages, but they still come to work, and it is turned into like an educational day. It's almost like the apprenticeship. So you're still getting paid, maybe a little bit less or maybe a few less hours, but you're still working. And on top of that, you're learning. Guys, I remember I suggested this to a corporation in America. I say, hey, listen, instead of getting laid off, why not take cheaper wages to stay working, but at the same time, enhance your education? Guys, they were not hearing this. They're like, no, we cannot do this, And guess what happened? Everybody got laid off. Because you must think, everybody does not have a union where you can go on strike and get this money while you're on strike. A lot of jobs does not want to implement those type of things, especially in the South. Okay. And there's places up north that are not part of a union. And it's okay either way. But we're talking about you having the responsibility to build your team the way you want it to be. You want it to be strong and fort tight, right? So being flexible with your workforce, being transparent with people, letting them know, hey, you may only get 20 hours this week, but what we're going to do is we're going to show you several new skill sets. So when things come back up, in which they will, you'll be able to be promoted, or when it's time for a promotion, you will already have the skills that you need. Guys, that is the power of flexible and free education. Like, that particular standpoint alone just really had me going, because when you understand that building a team is all about having loyal people around you that truly believes in what you're doing. Okay? That's what building a team and recruiting is all about. And you have to understand that people are people. It's not just about the job. So what is it that you're giving to your employees that will make them want to stay? What is it that you're doing for them that makes them think twice about jumping ship? Or are you the type of employer that says, well, I'm giving them a job anyway, they should be thanking me? Well, see, in a time such as this, where everything is super competitive and not only expensive a lot of places, but it's very competitive. And so whether you believe it or not, there are people that know they need a job, but just because you did not help them or make them feel valuable or give them variety or stayed in innovative mindsets, they left. They left. And they could have been that stellar employee that you wanted them to be. It's just like I was listening to one of these artists, and they were talking about how the major record labels have cut out artist development. Okay. See, because at first they were into the long-term relationship with the artist. But see, now that you can pretty much leverage your own community, your own fan base online, They're not interested in longevity of it. They want quick, fast, and hot money. And you know what? The thing about that is they still adjusted. They innovated. See, they started to understand, well, we're not getting paid 10 cents per CD anymore. Now it's all about the artists and what they want to do and how can we connect our brand to them. See, if those old record labels would have stayed doing that same thing, talking about, well, we're going to charge you 10 cents per CD, they will be out of business right now. Why? Because people are not really buying CDs anymore. You know, those are something of vintage. People are doing downloads and things like that. Okay. So this is definitely something that you want to think about. Guys, listen. When it comes to recruitment, you must understand your target market, remain innovative, give your people flexibility that they need so that they'll feel that you are there for them. You are loyal to them. Give them free education. Okay, it doesn't have to be a university, a state university. It could be your employer university. It could be training classes. Give them massive training. Why? Because you make them feel like you're investing in their future, which will in return have them to stay with your company long term, just like the Mittelstand, and then you will see a strong financial future, just like the the country Germany. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Have a good day, guys.